Welcome to The Gathering Greenhouse, a podcast to help us grow together.
I am so thankful we are here.
Oh, really? Me too. And I'm thankful that John is here as well.
Me too. I'm very thankful.
And John and I are wearing our I voted stickers today.
I am so grateful to you guys for voting.
Thank you. And you got to show it off, I guess. I never really wear them, but I thought I would wear it since we've been talking so much about voting.
I threw mine away.
Yeah. That's usually what I do.
I took Ezra with me to vote this morning, and he said, "Why do they give us stickers?" I said, "They give us stickers so we can wear them to show that we're better than everybody else because we voted."
That's usually what I'm like, but we're doing the podcast today. We've talked a lot about voting, so yeah, I thought I'd wear mine.
Yeah, I'm thankful I had the opportunity to vote this morning.
Yeah.
It's funny because everyone's going to watch this tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And so by then it's too late to have voted. So I'm not going to tell you to go vote. But next time.
Steve won't still be wearing his sticker tomorrow. I don't think. Will you? You take it off and neatly put it somewhere overnight so you can put it on whatever you're wearing tomorrow.
I grabbed 10 of them, so.
He grabs 10 and they're like, "What are you doing?" And he just
I voted
runs.
10 times. What are you talking about?
Well, there was some stuff. This is bad, but there's a few things where I didn't know, I didn't even know was on the ballot. So it was a board of education.
That's
person.
really important.
I realize that. I said it's bad. I realize it's bad, and I should have been more prepared.
You have to vote for Bab, Bobont, and Scherzenegger or something.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't want to just.
You don't see those signs
based
everywhere
on
in
name.
Springboro?
Yes.
They're
I don't
these
go to
big,
Springboro
massive
Yeah,
blue signs.
I was tempted to vote for Bab just because I liked the name better, but that would have been dumb of me, so I just left it blank.
I literally stayed up last night and I made a cheat sheet of my phone of all the school board people.
I wasn't thinking.
Yeah, no, I just recognize because it's always it's I think it's BBS. It always makes me think of Baptist Bible Seminary.
Okay.
Clark Summit, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I should have been more prepared.
Shout out to my garb brethren. I'm thankful for my heritage.
You should be thankful. Okay, so I thought we'd play a little game this morning since John is back.
I'm back.
And we're grateful for that.
We are grateful.
Yeah.
This is called the categories game. Are you guys familiar? Yeah.
The categories game?
Categories game.
Give us a category?
I give you a category. It's kind of a generic category. You'll get it when I get it. But then I also give you a letter. And between the two of you, you go back and forth. And the person who can name the most things in that category wins that round.
Start with that letter.
Exactly.
Do you get double points if you have a 2-word that both start with the same?
No. Unfortunately, no. This is not categories. This is categories.
This is
categories.
Not
You would, which I do love. Categories is a fun game, and I feel like you'd be really good at categories. Did you play that?
I think I've probably played it at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. Were you allowed to play board games, or were those?
No.
Evil?
So we did play board games, but we actually the game we played the most was this game called the Ungame.
Yeah.
And I hated it because there was no winner. It was all about just
wait. You hated a game because there was no winner.
Yeah. Because there was no talk. It was just about talking. It was just questions to get you talking. And
so it's not a real game.
The two things I hate the most in life are talking and not winning.
I feel like but most of the games you come up with kind of fit that.
Talking and no winner.
No winner.
It's true.
Right. Just a lot of losers.
It's my way of inflicting pain on you guys.
Yeah, you know which game I really liked? There was a Pop-O-Matic game, and I didn't have it as a kid, where you had all these shapes and you twist the dial.
Oh, yeah. And then if you didn't get them all in,
It was Okay.
That was a fun game.
It was a fun game. Okay. So we're gonna start out with games that use a ball. Okay? That is the category.
All right.
And the letter is A.
A?
A.
For games with a ball.
Games with a ball, yeah. So you have to think.
John goes first.
No.
Okay, John goes first.
Can
I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Did you get this from somewhere, or are you just making up the letters as you go?
I'm somewhat following the alphabet A, B, C. That was my plan.
So you didn't actually get this from someone who's actually thought through like what would be a good letter to go with this category.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
just checking.
That wasn't involved in this because I'm tweaking the game a little bit.
Maybe you should have just run with like the game.
I didn't want it to go on forever.
I literally can't think of a game with a ball that starts with an A. I keep thinking of air hockey, but there's no ball in that. So,
do you have answers to these questions you're asking?
No, I don't have answers to the questions. All right, we'll tweak the game then for your guys' sake here. We're gonna go back and forth, and we're just gonna use just the category.
all right.
We're gonna be here forever.
We'll go.
Well, I think it's a good game, but I think you have to like actually use letters that someone has done some forethought to think like what would be a
Well, there wasn't. I didn't.
like
find
what if the letter was
game.
F?
I didn't find.
Let's go with F.
Okay, we can go with F.
Football.
I got one that actually starts.
But you Googled it.
What's the one that starts with A, Matt?
Yeah.
American football.
Okay. See.
Well,
that's-
see, I was gonna say African soccer, but that's
Yeah.
dumb. That's
Okay.
Yeah.
all right.
Well, we can switch the category because maybe games with balls doesn't work. How about?
No, that's not the problem. The problem
the
is the letter.
Okay.
There's lots of games with
All right.
balls.
Let's go B then because I know there's for sure
Okay.
some with B.
Okay.
Baseball.
There you go.
Basketball.
What did
I got another one.
I got one too.
Bowling.
There you go.
Yeah, broom ball.
Okay.
Broom ball. What is broom ball? That sounds awesome.
You never played broom ball?
It's like
It's
hockey,
like hockey with
with, a
brooms?
broom and
It
like
is.
soft
You're-
shoes.
You're on, but you play on ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Volleyball. I can't think of one.
Pickleball.
Pickleball.
That does not work. I got one.
Okay.
Bocce.
Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah. Good.
Do you have any more?
Well, like, could you say like lawn bowling?
No.
Blonde bowling.
Why not?
Because it starts with an L.
But bowling starts with a B. It's just
Bowling
a new kind of
in
bowling.
the lawn. Maybe.
Okay. All right.
So
bong.
far this game is being a dud.
Bing
okay.
bong.
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
So David wins that round
Why did I win?
because he didn't have.
I ran out.
But he
ran
went.
out.
But he went first.
The person who
So we
runs
each
out.
got 2.
Well, okay. Do you have another one?
No.
I think everybody's winning this game.
So the next round we
Especially you, the
we
viewer.
just swap.
You are the real
We
winner
swap.
here.
Okay. All right. Fruits and vegetables that start with the letter C. David, you have to go first.
Fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, it could be a fruit or vegetable.
Cucumber.
Celery.
Carrot.
Cantaloupe.
Ooh, that's nice. Nicely done. I was gonna say kiwi, but that doesn't count.
Cut.
Corn. And here we go. It's a starch. It's not a vegetable or a fruit.
I'll go with cilantro.
So, is that an herb?
Yeah.
No. It's a plant. It's not an herb. It's not an herb. It's a vegetable.
Well, we can't go down that road because then we're gonna just get into this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll give it to you.
Well, we're getting up against it here, aren't we? Mm-hmm. I know. There's got to be some more out there. We haven't really gotten into the fruit realm other than cantaloupe. So,
Candied corn.
see, I was
Candied apples.
gonna say cream corn, but I don't think that would count.
It's just a different version of corn.
Right? Yeah. Let's say.
It's harder than you think.
Well, we've already had several.
Yeah.
So I don't,
Here's an
right.
obvious one that both of you
Obvious. Very obvious.
are missing.
Very obvious.
okay.
All right, we'll give that round to John.
What's
John,
the
John
obvious
gets that
one,
round.
Matt?
Cabbage.
Come
Cabbage.
on.
That's so obvious. I eat,
Super obvious.
eat
Who
cabbage
does not
all
love
the time.
cabbage? Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
cabbage is
You're
morning
from
for breakfast.
Minnesota. I almost said Minnesota. From Michigan. They love cabbage.
Yeah,
up
Michigan's known for its cabbage.
there.
Apparently.
Cabbage rolls. and Such. Right?
No.
Okay. Well, so this might not work real well either, but since
Oh, really?
since
This is gonna be even worse than what we've done so
it could
far.
possibly be. So it is. So for this month, right? It's the 100 things you're thankful for.
Yes.
So I was gonna add that into the category. So we'll go give it a try. Could be an epic failure.
Things I'm thankful for.
Things you're thankful for, starting with the letter D.
I want to say Dino Nuggets because they all got recalled this week. That's funny to me.
What?
A bunch of Dino Nuggets got recalled if your kid eats Dino Nuggets.
Yes, it did. Dino nuggets
Things that
are
start
great.
with D that I'm thankful for.
Yes.
Donuts.
Dogs.
Okay. We're getting somewhere.
I'm thinking things that start with D. My dad.
All right. They're very good.
Yeah.
Derelict.
Things I'm thankful for that start with D. I can't think of anything that starts with D.
Are
or
you
D.
kidding me?
That I
Yeah,
like-
seriously.
Sitting right here.
Oh,
David?
David.
I'm going to jump in here too. Driving.
Driving. Yeah, that's good.
It's a good one.
The dawning of the day.
Wow.
Oh, very good.
Wow.
Diapers
Diapers are great.
for kids.
Yes.
And for adults, you may need them too. They're a good thing.
This one's really hard for me.
I got a bunch of them here.
Yeah, we
keep
could
Decks. I love
Yeah.
my deck. I love sitting out on the deck.
The Detroit Lions.
Oh, Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
Detroit
The
Flames.
It's every Detroit thing for you.
There's no Detroit Flames.
There could be.
No, there's not.
No. Detroit is usually in flames. Is what you're thinking.
Devotions.
Devotions. Yeah. The city
Don't
of
keep coming to
Denver.
me. I don't know.
It's a nice city.
Yeah. We're so. Come on, John. You gotta.
Okay,
John
give me a minute. Give me a minute.
John's
I'm
struggling.
struggling with this one.
Denim.
Oh, denim. Yeah.
I love wearing jeans.
Me too.
Yeah.
Or good jean jacket,
Oh yeah, for sure.
or a jean shirt.
A jean hat.
Yeah. And if you live in Canada, a
Shirt?
a tuxedo.
Yeah. That whole tuxedo made out of denim.
Ducks.
I'm not,
They still
I'm not,
they're
I'm not
still
with you
around.
on that one.
They're still
What are you
around
talking
here.
about? The key of D. We like that one here.
All right.
Do we?
Yeah.
We do
I
that
don't
apparently.
even know what the key of D is.
It's a key shaped like a D.
Okay.
Dad jokes.
Can we say that though? Because he already said dad.
The dad jokes.
So
It's
dad
totally
jokes is
different
something
category.
different?
Yeah,
Okay.
and dad hats are different too.
Dad
dad
hats.
hats. Yep.
Okay. What is a dad hat now?
You're wearing a dad hat.
Yeah, see, the
like
problem
a
is this
classic-
is the only type of hat that fits my head. I have no other
prefer
choice.
dad hats.
Dad
I don't
hats
have a
Are
choice.
usually cloth, and they're not high rise. They
Right.
just are like a classic cap.
They're more
Also,
rounded on top, but the bill is
tiny-headed
also much.
people
The bill is also
enjoy
much
them.
More, yeah.
Yeah.
Destiny.
Dentures.
You're thankful for dentures?
Pull 'em
my
out.
grandma had
Let us
dentures.
see.
How else she would have eaten? She'd have to eat smoothies all the time.
You know, I had this thought the other day, but like, you know, whenever you see a little baby
Yeah.
and they don't have their teeth and it's like so adorable, you know, their little gummy smile. But when that baby turns 90
Yeah.
and doesn't have their teeth,
Right.
it's kind of
I
horrifying.
gotta tell you a very quick denture story. My grandma lived with us towards the end of her when she needed a little extra help, and it was around Christmas time. She took her dentures out and she'd leave them around different places. Well, one time she left them in the manger scene. Like we had a manger. It had like
No, wait. Stop.
yeah.
Why did they get there?
She left them there, but
She was
I have
old.
questions.
She was old, so she would just leave them around places.
Did she
I
think maybe
guess.
Jesus needed them?
So we took all the characters away from Jesus and put them all around my grandma's dentures as kids. We thought it was hilarious.
All right. Great. Yeah.
Everything's just falling flat today.
The
here.
disciples.
Try.
Nice.
Yeah, disciples. Okay.
Yep. Darkness.
Death.
I thought we were supposed to go towards the light.
Well, no, but darkness. I mean,
It's
you
good.
need to
You can
sleep.
sleep, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Dentists. Yeah.
Dinosaurs.
Okay.
They're kind of cool.
Dayton.
Oh, how did we
Dayton.
miss that one?
Hey, you can't go a day without Dayton. That's what the radio told me.
Okay, well, I think we've exhausted this one. We could probably get to.
I don't think we have.
Well, I mean, we haven't.
I don't
but
think
The Daytona 500.
you're using that word
think we're-
exhausted. I don't think you know what it means.
I think that
The Bears.
we're hanging on to this one maybe a little long. I'm feeling a little like we're hitting up against a door here.
Can I
But
say
do you-
one, like
thankful for doors to close the doors.
Super thankful for doors.
the delete button?
Delete.
Yeah.
What
Well,
about
all
the
you- all
delete
you-
text message button?
Yeah. Yeah.
Door of
Have
the
you used
Explorer.
that? Door of the Explorer.
Yeah. See, we're not even close to having exhausted.
We could get to 100 on this. Just with the letter
Are
D.
we at 100 yet? I think we're at like 300.
Maybe three.
Dilbert.
300, yeah. What?
Dilbert.
Or
Yeah.
Dilbert.
I
Dill
like that
pickles?
Dill
cartoon.
pickles.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife sent me out at 11 o'clock a couple nights ago to go buy pickles, which is the most pregnant thing I think she's ever.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay, that's a double D alliteration.
Yeah. I mean, you can't forget that one. Yeah. Dust.
No.
No, I'm not thankful for dust.
Does
Dust is
does
pretty
dust
gross.
serve any purpose?
Well, I mean, other than the formation of
Well-
man, I don't know.
I would say it does serve a purpose. If we didn't have dust, what would all that stuff do?
Yeah, how could we have a cleaning industry?
Isn't
without
dust a byproduct though?
Isn't it mostly dead skin? That's what I thought.
I'm not sure it does serve a purpose. I think it
Dust to
is.
dust,
It's a
that's what it
byproduct
means.
of a purpose. Like
Yeah.
we need to shed our skin, so that's important.
And somehow it always
And so-
ends up on the ceiling fan. I don't get it.
And how does dust turn into cobwebs? I don't understand that one either.
I don't think it does.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
I think it like adheres to webs. And does that become cobwebs?
But so you're telling me everywhere there's cobwebs, spiders went and did
Yes.
that. See, I don't. But I've seen it on
They're
like
everywhere.
I've seen it
In your ears.
in a lot of places where maybe I don't know. I had to Google that one. I don't know
Dr.
if I-
Pimple Popper.
No,
MD.
we're not thankful.
I
That's
love
gross.
Pimple Popper.
That's disgusting.
I love that show.
No,
Yes.
no.
My 2 weeks.
I'm with Matt.
Becca thinks I'm really weird, but when I want to relax, I
Do
literally
they
watch
actually
pimple
show
popping videos.
stuff coming out?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Often, and now
Oh,
they do like the big cyst surgeries, and like it's gruesome.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. I mean, we probably should say just doctors in general, though, right?
Yes.
Okay, then DVR. That was a great invention.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
the hopper.
Now DVD. We don't. Wait, do people use DVDs much anymore?
Do people use DVR anymore?
Right, yeah.
What do they use with DVR? You mean,
I mean,
yeah, right?
we don't call it that, but I think it's still the same process.
Yeah, the same.
right?
The same.
Sandwiches.
Right.
I mean, DVR was just
Isn't
right
that
into a hard
how
drive
like
and-
Netflix? If without DVR technology, there wouldn't be
Yeah, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Netflix.
Streaming.
Going downhill.
Downhill.
Yeah. It's always fun. You know, take your foot off the gas, throw your arms up in the
Dessert.
Ooh.
air. See?
That's a good one. That one.
Yeah.
Well, it was worth waiting for.
And when you misspell it, the desert.
right. So should we move on?
Dumpsters.
Okay, I think I feel like
Dumpsters.
we've.
Those are
Yeah.
good.
You guys have made
Ducks,
fun of my
Donald
game
Ducks.
so much. Now you won't let it go.
Docks.
Docs.
Because that's how we get into the water. So that's really
So
important.
let's change topics here. I feel like we've exhausted this. People have tuned out probably long ago.
You
no
think
one-
so?
Don't
Don't.
it.
Don't do it. All right, got a few questions. Let's switch tones to a little more seriousness.
Okay.
Can you?
I don't
can
know
you-
if we
can
went-
You,
if
can
we
you
were
actually
having
change your
fun.
tone? And now.
And now we're gonna get more serious.
It just got serious.
I don't know. Maybe John is throwing me off today. I feel like
I should throw you.
I'm landing.
See,
I feel
we'll
like
see if
I'm
I can
landing,
throw Steve.
landing flat on all these things. Tough crowd.
I'm thankful
I mean,
for
you're all
dancing.
your-
what
all
about
your-
dancing? That's
Dancing?
Then we shouldn't leave
You're
that one.
thankful for dancing?
Yeah.
I kind of wish it wasn't invented.
Well, yeah.
Dating.
Dancing is
Dating?
a disgrace.
Yeah.
Everybody named Dan.
No,
Most
not
people named
everybody.
Dan.
Not
Most people
everybody. There's a
named
few.
most.
Yeah.
A few of the people I know named Dan.
Data.
You know who you are.
I mean, I'm pretty
From
thankful
Star
for
Trek?
Data. No. The actual like-
Dallas.
Oh, Data. Yeah.
Yeah.
City of Dallas.
Have you been there recently?
Yeah,
Okay. There's.
I have. What do you consider recently? in the past
So
5
the
years.
best thing in Dallas, and it might be the only really good thing, is something called Whirly Ball.
Oh, they have Whirly Ball in Ohio.
A lot of places.
They have a Whirly Ball in Ohio?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I took a youth group
Well, let's go.
there before.
Let's go.
Up by Cleveland, I know there's one.
dams.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, they're really helpful.
I
Watch
thought
your
everyone's tearing their dams down now.
No, they help us produce electricity.
Yeah,
they
I thought
create
that
lakes.
I thought they decided that was a bad thing.
Who decided that?
Well, I think there's a general thought that electricity is bad in
thought.
general.
Common
Damsels?
thought. No, they it's not good
distress?
for the
Yeah.
creatures that are going.
Daisies?
Daisy Dukes.
Daisy Dukes.
No, John. No, John.
Okay, we need to just start the podcast right now, or maybe 5 minutes ago, because it actually got good. All right, question. Switching topics here, which I've been trying to do. You gave a sermon on Sunday, as you do most Sundays.
Yes. Doctrine.
Yeah, sound doctrine, but that doesn't work. Okay, so
I wish you preached out of Deuteronomy. That would.
I don't know if I am thankful for Deuteronomy.
that's not a good book.
I should be
it's
because
a boring
it is
book.
the Bible. It's inspired. There's good stuff there, but it's
like
it's heavy sledding.
when in seminary when they require they have you read the first 5 books of the Bible, and you have like 2 or 3 weeks to read the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a struggle, to be honest.
I saw a stat, and it was like, everyone at the beginning of the year always starts a year in the Bible in a year program, and it showed that most people stop when they hit Deuteronomy and then Numbers, or like
Yeah.
number 1, number 2, when people just can't make it any further.
To just reading it to read it is tough. Okay, so question 1 here we have for you. So why does God leave Christians on earth? And this is kind of linked to that idea of
Why are we asking these questions?
why not?
Okay.
Because they're about the sermon.
Okay. All right. All right. So what was the question?
The question is, why does God leave people on earth? So the other would be, why doesn't he just take them to heaven straight away, right? Why are we here?
Well, I mean, there's a very pragmatic answer to that.
Yeah.
So if let's who's the first Christian?
Well, the first Christian would be, it would be right after Jesus' death, right?
Well, his resurrection.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like the first convert after the resurrection.
Is it Peter?
I think that's hard to like.
Yeah, it's hard to say because wouldn't he?
No,
Technically
it's
he
an
would have been.
impossible question.
I think he would have been grandfathered in.
Let's-
be
As
the
a disciple.
term.
Let's just for
Philip.
let's just for argument's sake say the 12. Okay, it's bigger than that. There's more, but
Yeah.
for argument's sake, let's just say you've got 12, right? Who believe in Jesus. And because those 12 believe in Jesus, actually, maybe a better argument might be the thief on the cross. But
That's what I was. that
that's
was
a
the
good-
first place my mind went to. But I'm like, well,
Yeah.
Jesus hadn't really paid for his sins yet, so he wouldn't have technically been a Christian. He would have had to atone for those sins.
He was an Old Testament saint.
Yeah,
All
right.
All right. So, anyways, let's just say it's the 12 for argument's sake.
Okay.
So you got 12, right, who are believers. And because they believe, God's like, all right, you guys believe, come home.
Yeah.
Now what?
Now you're stuck here with the rest of us.
But nobody can get saved now.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because now there's nobody. I mean, how does anybody else hear the good news?
Right.
Right? Who writes the New Testament? So I mean, just on a very pragmatic level, the reason he leaves is because that
Right.
Well,
I
so
was
that more
thinking.
can
I
come
was
to
honestly
repentance.
thinking of completely changing the system. So you could, maybe make a different requirement. I don't know.
Jesus, he told us that as he's leaving. Like,
Right, that was-
go
yeah.
therefore and preach
Yeah.
the gospel. That's not just a command; it's also a why.
go and make disciples of all
disciples.
nations.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, because where my mind goes when we ask that question of why does God leave Christians on earth? Well, you're thinking that, okay, he could snap his fingers and, make something miraculous happen. So it's kind of like the same lines of like, why does God let bad things happen to good people? It's kind of like, you could just make sin disappear if you wanted to, right? So I was thinking along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good answer.
I think it's really interesting because the what Christ told us Christianity would be, what it meant to follow him. Never was it like hey, everything's going to be hunky dory. It was, you're going to be hated as like the same way I've been hated. You're going to be persecuted. Take up your cross and follow me, implying that there will be suffering along the way. So it's not when you take that deal, right? It carries with it a sense that there will be pain and suffering. It's not just this rosy, everything's going to be perfect promise, for Christians. And so I think we ought to expect that we are going to linger and deal with suffering and pain. I don't know. I've never really thought of that question of like, why doesn't God just take me home and I don't have to deal with this anymore?
Yeah. I've always thought that it goes along the lines of like, God knows more than me. So therefore, even when I don't understand what's going on, I'm going to trust God has a plan and purpose, which is kind of what you said in your sermon.
Yeah. Well, that's all true.
Yeah.
But I mean, at a very foundational base level, the reason he leaves us here is Paul said in 2 Corinthians, once you're a new creature, you are now a minister of reconciliation, right?
Yeah.
That's, at a very foundational level, that's it.
Well, yeah, that's like without taking all like the hypotheticals into it of other ways around. No, I think that's probably the better answer and the better way to think of it.
Right. And this actually has implications for Christians, right?
Yeah.
Because if you call yourself a Christian and you're not doing anything to spread the good news or to be an ambassador of reconciliation, are you really? I think the question's a fair question.
Yeah.
All right.
Next question.
Oh, I thought we were done.
So this goes along the lines of, there's been a lot of talk about voting and politics. We're just in that time as a country as well where we're very divided. And we touched on this a little bit before, but here's the question here, and I think it's applicable for today. How involved should Christians be in politics?
Yeah. So I think let's go back to the last question, right?
Yeah.
That's the answer, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
I would say they should be involved in politics to the degree that it advances the gospel. I mean, that's why we're here. We're actually not here to get what we want, to get our way. And this might be hard for some. We're actually not here to vote in the kingdom of God because we can't do that. Like John just mentioned, if you're a Christian, life is not going to be easy. Jesus said, don't expect that. We as Christians are fighting what I call the long defeat, right? We are fighting the long defeat until Jesus instantaneously brings victory, right? So until that happens, our involvement in politics ought to be simply, what can we do to advance the gospel? Now, the gospel is good news for everybody. It's good news that Jesus saves us from our sins, and it's also good news for the oppressed, for the poor, for the downtrodden, and all that. And so one of the things I like to say about politics is we as Christians ought to use our vote to do as much good for as many people as possible, because that is how we spread the gospel.
Okay. So in a sense, like you wouldn't say, hey, we should mandate church attendance as a policy.
I don't think that would be a good idea.
Right. So in a sense, you're saying, let's use when we say to advance the gospel, like what is that? So you said to do as much good as possible. Are there any other categories that go into?
Well, I think those are the big categories. But like, for example, this morning when I voted, I voted no on both proposals because I think that both proposals are really bad for people.
Yeah.
Just across the board, they're just really bad for people. And then on some of the other stuff that we voted on in my district, some of them were like, township supervisors and that kind of stuff. And I looked at it, I got a general idea of who these people are. Like, they affiliate with parties and whatnot.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I just really don't know that much about them. And I didn't vote.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I don't, my vote here, because I don't know enough about these people, I can't, with a clear conscience say I'm voting to do good for a lot of people by voting for it. So I said, okay, I didn't vote. So I voted on the places where I know this would be good for people if these proposals don't pass. But so I think for me, it really is just one big question: where can I do the most good?
Okay.
And then obviously there's no super easy answer sometimes.
Yeah.
Right?
So maybe it aligns with God's moral code.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sometimes it's just as simple as, who do I think will do the best job? Because some of these things, like city council and school board, it's not so political all the time. Sometimes it's just, who do I think is going to, in that position, do the most good?
Yeah.
And do the most good for more people.
Like on school board, school board actually has a lot of control, because the school board determines curriculum. The school board has the ability to hire and fire administrators, who hire and fire principals, who hire and fire teachers. And so that school board actually, it matters. But like, if you look at an issue like economic policy, it's easy sometimes to say, well, we should vote for the people who are going to give money to the poor people, because that's good for poor people. But that's actually not necessarily true. Just giving people lots of stuff isn't always good for them, and there's long-term implications of that, right? The more money that the government spends, the more prices go up. And the reason bread and milk and gas are so expensive right now is because the government has been just giving away money that doesn't exist for the last 6, 7, 8 years. And so as a result of that, we have this incredible inflation, which is really bad for people. And now you actually have people who, under normal circumstances, would be able to provide for their kids, would be able to provide health insurance. They can't do that because of inflation. And so what people thought was going to be a really good thing has turned out to be a really bad thing. So sometimes we need to think about that, think further down the road and say, is what seems good right now actually going to be good in the long term? And then vote accordingly.
Yeah, but both Republican and Democrat did it, right?
Absolutely.
So
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, every administration.
Well, they wanted to get elected, right?
Spends more.
Yeah.
Because most people vote in the here and the now.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Last question that I have here is, why doesn't God judge people who are evil?
He does.
Why doesn't God? So why does God allow people like Stalin or Hitler?
Along with your sermon,
Yep.
So it's a little bit deeper into some of the stuff you got into.
Maybe another way of asking, why isn't God's justice immediate? Why does it feel like we have to wait?
Yep, that's a good question, and this just comes back to a matter of timing, right? Like we talked about on not this Sunday but 2 Sundays ago, that true goodness eliminates evil, right? Or else it's not truly good. But the question has to be, how and when does that happen? Because how and when evil is eliminated actually has implications and ramifications.
Yeah.
And we simply don't have the ability to know that. Because like I'm drinking water today, and I think water is good for me, right? People say that water is good for you. You should drink a lot of water. But I don't know, maybe there's something in this water that I don't know about, and I'm going to end up, having horrible, awful, violent illness later tonight because of it. But I don't know that, right? Because I don't know everything. I don't know everything about everything. I don't know, where this water has been, what it's called. I mean, I know where I got it from.
Yeah.
But there's so much we don't know about life.
Yeah.
If I go home tonight and say, I'm gonna walk the dogs because I think that's a good thing to do. We get hit by a car. Well, what I thought was going to be a really good thing turned out to be a really bad thing. If I say, I think I want to eliminate evil in the world, so I'm going to go and I'm going to, I'm going to go down to the prison and I'm going to find the worst mass murdering, killing person, and I'm just going to beat the snot out of them because I want to eliminate. Well, is that really going to do any good for anybody? So our limited perspective makes it really difficult for us to be able to judge how evil should be dealt with, when, and where. Mm-hmm. But God sees all, knows all possibilities. And because he has this incredible knowledge and this incredible wisdom, he is able to understand the perfect time and the perfect means by which to destroy evil. And he will do that. And so there are times when he does, bring judgment on the wicked. Yeah. And it's because that was the right time. That was the right place. But at the end of all things, he will completely eliminate all evil. And when he does, it will be the perfect time and it will be the perfect means. And we then, who are left behind with him forever, will glorify him forever because of his great wisdom and knowledge and strength.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So could you also say that we live? It's why doesn't God just eliminate you? Well, we live in a broken world.
Sure.
And sin has entered in the
But
world.
why doesn't he fix it?
Yeah, I think that would go along the lines of what you're saying, is that God knows the right timing of it. That would probably be like the other part of it.
Yeah. I think the answer is it's not an easy answer. And we talked about this on Sunday, that we always want the easy answers and we want full certainty, but that doesn't exist. And faith is being able to say, God knows better than me, so I'm going to trust him.
Yeah, it just kind of reminds me of when you go on an overseas mission trip to a country that's like really struggling, and then you get back and everyone's like, asking you questions about it. They're like, what could you do to change that? The things that are so off about that particular place, and people are just looking for an easy answer usually, you know, and it's much more, complicated than that. The answer usually is.
Yeah. There are rarely easy answers.
Yeah.
They're almost always more complicated. So, all right.
Anything to add, John, since you're back?
Nope, I'm good.
Doritos.
Oh, that's a good
That's
one.
a good one.
Yeah, how did we
That's a
miss
really
that
good
one, right?
Diet Coke. I'm very thankful for that one.
I think Doritos would have been a better one to end on.
It would have been. All right, well, thanks for
Dairy Queen.
Dairy.
Oh,
am I right?
I was just about to
Dairy
end
Queen
it
is
to
good.
you.
Man.
Dairy
We would
Shed.
have had to reach
Yeah.
the Dairy Fill. Dippin' Dots.
Uh,
No. Okay.
Not a big fan of
overpriced.
Dippin' Dots.
Yeah.
Overpriced, and
why are Dippin' Dots always at like amusement parks and like
they're the
baseball
ice cream of
games
the future from 50 years ago.
I think that they realize that it's not a viable future.
And the future was yesterday.
Domino's. The game and the pizza.
I would go with the game.
I take the game over the pizza.
The pizza, I'm not a fan of the flavor crust. Donato's.
But not all their crust
It's not
is flavored,
delivery.
is it?
It's DiGiorno.
DiGiorno.
Oh.
Dirt Devil vacuums.
Yeah. For
Steve
sure.
Steve does love his vacuums.
Yeah.
You are very particular about vacuums. I've
You're what
noticed.
one might call a vacuum aficionado.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but
I just did.
I do like the convenience of the stick vacuums. Those are nice, but
We should do that on a podcast. Have you kind of like just talk about vacuums for a little bit.
I really am
sounds
not.
like an
I'm really
awesome
not
podcast.
into them that much.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Stop lying.
Yeah.
If you have to
There's
say
a lot
that
of
much,
other.
you probably
There's
are.
a lot of other things that I'm way more into.
You just get sucked up into the vacuum talk.
Exactly. And at that, we will leave it right there. So
Dynamite.
Thanks
for joining us as everybody tries to derail us today.
Derail.
We're done.